On day 25 of the Diddy sex trafficking trial, prosecutors focused on text messages between Sean Combs and Cassie Ventura before and after the infamous Intercontinental Hotel beating that was caught on surveillance tape. Here are highlights from that testimony.
And what type of document is this?
This is a travel invoice.
Under the letterhead, what is the name that is listed under the letterhead?
Bad Boy Entertainment.
And who is the passenger for this flight?
Clayton Howard.
And what is the departure date and arrival date of the first flight?
September 15th, 2014 to September 16th, 2014.
And what route is that flight?
New York Kennedy to Los Angeles.
And then underneath, what is the departure date of the second flight?
September 16th, 2014.
And what's the arrival date?
September 17th, 2014.
And what's the itinerary of that flight?
Los Angeles to New York Kennedy.
And which city is associated with New York Kennedy Airport?
New York City.
You can take that down now, Ms. Foster. Can you please pull up Government Exhibit 1405C? Special Agent Penland, is this another chart that you reviewed for accuracy?
It is.
And can you please explain what this chart shows?
This shows selected charges on an American Express statement ending in 9005.
And who selected the charges to include in Government Exhibit 1405C?
The trial team.
So let's just walk through these charges briefly. What are the top two rows?
This is a charge by American Airlines for a ticket from Los Angeles to JF Kennedy Airport with a passenger name of Jules Theodore departing on July 29th, 2010, and the top charge is the travel agency service fee related to that ticket.
You can pull that down, Ms. Foster. Focusing on the middle charge next to the orange box, what's that charge for?
This is a charge by Diptyque for $740.35 on July 30th, 2010.
Pulling that down, what's the next charge?
A charge by Astor Wine and Spirits in New York for $435.48 on July 30th, 2010.
Pulling that down again, can you zoom in on the bottom box? What is this charge?
This is a charge by United Airlines for a ticket from JF Kennedy Airport to Los Angeles, California, for July Theodore departing August 1st, 2010.
And for all the charges we just walked through, what was the payment method for each of those charges?
The American Express statement ending 9005.
And who is the account holder for the American Express card ending 9005?
Sean Combs.
Special Agent Penland, who are the participants in this communication?
New York Strip and Sean Combs.
And taking that zoom down, if you read the Sean Combs lines, I'll read the New York Strip lines.
From the beginning?
Yes, please.
Calling about 12 o'clock massage POS text when you can. Need to push to 12:40. POS get back to confirm. Thank you. Hello. What time do you think? Are you lost? Can you let me know if there's a problem, so if there is, I have time to get her another present. Thank you.
Hey, are you a cop? Exclamation point, question mark. I'm sorry, but I was a little uneasy about meeting you. Seems a bit too good to be true.
No, man, are you crazy? No, are you?
You got the hotel room for one night, didn't you? Sorry about all that. I'm a few minutes away. Winky face. You can take that down now, Ms. Foster. And can you pull up Government Exhibit 1402? Special Agent Penland, please feel free to refer to the printout that you have in front of you. Could you review 1402 and let us know how many lines of 1402 list New York City as a location?
14.
And just focusing first on line item 1, what is the address associated with line item 1?
151 West 54th Street, New York, New York.
And what borough is that in?
Manhattan.
And could you, for the 14 line items that are in New York City that have associated addresses, could you please review those addresses and advise what borough those addresses are in?
One of them doesn't have an address, but all of the remaining are in Manhattan.
So did you ask at any point to look at any records of where Ms. Ventura was on December 8th of 2015?
No.
Okay, but you needed to look into the accuracy of this chart?
Yes. Her name is not under names.
Okay, and so the only person that you think that was there on this date, December 8th, 2015 to December 9th, 2015 is Sean Combs.
Nope. It's clear someone else is there. We don't know who it is. That's why we don't see another name.
And you didn't look to see who else was there?
Objection.
That's overruled. You can answer.
No, I did not.
But you're a special agent employed for 10 years at the Southern District of New York U.S. Attorney's Office, right?
Objection.
Well, as to that question, the objection is overruled.
I suppose she can answer. Okay. You've been employed as a special agent at the U.S. Attorney's Office for 10 years, right?
I have.
So it is important for you to accurately present data, right?
Correct.
Okay. And so when you saw an underlying message that said they both left the room, did you ask yourself who is the other person in the room?
There are many times in this chart where there are other individuals that are possibly in the room, but if I did not have the evidence, their name is not in this chart.
As a special agent, you know how to look for evidence, right?
Objection.
That's sustained.
As a special agent, you know how to review data, correct?
I do.
You know that there are often times when you know that there was many chats that came from Ms. Ventura's devices in this case, right?
Objection.
Overruled.
I was able to review what I was provided by the trial team.
Okay, but you did not conduct any further investigation to see who the other individual was?
That was not my role.
Your role was to make sure that these charts were accurate, right?
That's correct.
And it says here names at the top of this, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you want to make sure you accurately present the names under where it says names, right?
It does not have the name of every potential person that was at this gathering.
All right, and do you see that the date, this is not included in your chart, right?
Correct.
And do you see the date here is October 22nd of 2012?
Yes.
All right. And that's 2 days UTC time after the line, row 17 that we looked at?
Yes.
Okay. And then Ms. Ventura writes, keep having sexy flashbacks of yesterday. Well, you must be busy or asleep. Talk to you tomorrow. Do you see that?
Yes.
All right. We could pull the chart back up. 1402. All right, let's look at 18. Next page. All right, so then about a week later is your next row, which is October 27th of 2012. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, and under Sean Combs, you list GXB357. So could we bring that up, please? All right, and here, this is from the same date. Do you see that? October 27th?
Yes.
Okay, and Mr. Combs writes, let's have an FO at 5 p.m. with a winky face. Do you see?
Yes.
Okay. And what does Ms. Ventura respond?
LOL. That's in less than 3 hours.
Okay. You busy? LOL. 6 p.m. What you got to do? What does she respond?
I'm with April, almost at Hollywood. We're shopping. LOL.
For how long? You want to, or you can't, or don't? It was just an idea. What does she say?
It just sucks for me when we have something to do after and I have to get ready high. Why not after the party?
Okay. What does she say after that?
I feel like you're going to do it with someone else. Let's do it at 6 or 7. Hello?
Go to the next 2 pages. What does she say after that?
Wow. Okay. LOL. Sorry. You're asleep.
Just woke up. Don't sweat it. I'm not. How does she respond 1 minute later?
I bought the best sexy outfits for later. We can play it by ear, but I'm gonna check availability of cowboys.
Okay. And he responds, I'll meet you at 11:30. What does she say after that?
And shoes.
Okay. You can take that down. All right. And could we please go now to the next page? All right. So there's an entry for December 3rd, 2012. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. And then December 14th to 15th of 2012?
Yes.
Okay. If we could try to make this more efficient, we'll go to December 14th of 2012. And underneath both Sean Combs and Cassandra Ventura, there's an indication of B359. So can we pull that exhibit up? All right. And that's the same date, the 14th, right?
Yes.
And he says, you call Dave? Hello? What does she respond with?
Hey, yes, haven't heard back.
Can we scroll to page 5 and 6? All right. And he says, I need to have fun. Let's go. You plan, please, baby. I need to be taken care of by my woman. And how does she respond?
Okay, you got it.
What's the plan? What does she say? I'm finished soon. Can we do 6? I'm gonna book the hotel now. Should I say it's you? Gonna Bev Hills? I'm fine and I'm horny. How does she respond?
Can you answer my questions? LOL, I gotta do nails.
I'll book hotel. When you going be ready? What does she say?
I'm just listening down now and going to get my nails done, so if I hurry, 5, ?
And he says K. And then what does she say in the next 2 messages?
I'm really sorry. I just really wanted to get my work done. House is a mess and no nails and tan. Unhappy face. Sorry! ! I promise I will be the nastiest freak bitch in the world to make up for it.
You see that initial message is a message from Ms. Ventura to Mr. Combs?
Yes.
So she sends that message to Mr. Combs and says, dying for these, but I can't figure out how to make them stay up. Gotta ask that these square girls tomorrow. Might send them back. They reminded me of you, right?
Yes.
And he says, why you teasing a freak off like that? Not fair, right?
Yes.
And what does she say?
Because I just tried them on and they made me think of you! ! Not teasing! !
All right, could we go to the next 2 pages? And she says, they're a little over G anyway. I f***ed up and wore the other ones, those rope ones, but they were too tight and I can't return them, but I want the black ones. And he says, get them. And how does she respond?
Sorry, I'm so over all my clothes.
And what does she say next?
I need new ones. I was distracted when I was talking to you.
All right, and he says, all good. Let's go to the next 2 pages. All right? And they keep talking to one another on the left side of the page. And he says, what am I supposed to do? And how does she respond?
I don't want to do it at home. I don't want anything to stress me out.
He's available. He just hit me back after that, right?
Yes.
Let's go to the next 2 pages. And he says, want to get hotel? What do you want me to do? Hello? And what does she say?
Yes, hotel. What time am I telling him?
Babe, I don't want to your week. We can just go to your crib and chill, right?
Yes.
And can we go to the next page? And she says, baby, I was in the mood, but maybe I'm tripping, right?
Yes.
And then they continue corresponding after that?
Yes.
Okay, we can take this down and go back to our chart. All right, let's go to the next page. All right, we will look at March when we get to 1550, but let's go to March 4th to March 5th, 2016, 1550. But let's go to line 59 is March 18th, 2016 to March 20th of 2016, right?
Yes.
All right. And the exhibit under Sean Combs there is B638?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to that exhibit first, all right? Again, messages between Sean Combs and Ms. Ventura.
Yes.
All right, let's go to the 2nd and 3rd page. All right, she says, want to do something today just in case, right?
Yes.
And he says, all day. And she says, LOL. And he says, want to get Dave out for the day, right?
Yes.
All right. Let's go to the next 2 pages. All right. And they're speaking about Dave in this text message thread?
Yes.
Let's go to the next 2 pages. All right. And all right. They're again speaking about Dave. And then he writes, I'm locked in my bathroom talking to my therapist, BTW. Hello, send me the contact. And she says, why? Right?
Yes.
Okay. And let's go to the next 2 pages. And he asks, I said, is there anything out here you trust? And she says, nope, right?
Yes.
And she says, I'm scared to try something new BC of all the random stories we have on the guys from here. Let me think. But you called Dave, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to the next 2. and he proposes Greg Jules. And she writes, Greg is a weirdo, but I don't mind him. LOL, right?
Yes.
If I get my period, he might trip. LOL. Jules. Yeah, but it takes 6 hours for him to get here. Do you see that?
Yes.
All right, next 2 pages. And he writes, Greg is free from now to 11. Jay is ready to get on a flight, but we got to book. That's the best I could get. What's your vibe on Baldy? LOL. Come to the room. Do you see that?
Yes.
And she writes, the hotel needs you to call to give Dave access. Pulse do that because he's waiting. Do you see that?
Yes.
All right. Can we bring up 1411R? That's in evidence. Sorry, number government exhibit 1411R. All right, do you see? If we could look at the messages, the 2 bottom messages on the page from March 19th of 2016.
Yes.
Do you see these messages?
Yes.
All right. And then do you see that Dave Shirley writes to Christina Coram, Clayton Howard needs access to the room.
Yes.
All right. And Ms. Coram responds, or doesn't respond. She writes to Dave Shirley and Melissa Fiola, hey, M. Dave needs to add the name Clayton Howard to the Four Seasons hotel room. He needs access ASAP. Could you help? Do you see that?
Yes.
All right. And these were not in your chart?
They are not.
Have you seen those messages before?
No.
Okay, we can take that down. All right, if we could go back to 1402. All right, let's go to the next page. All right, these are after the date in March that we just saw. The next thing that you wrote down was June 17th of 2016, right?
Yes.
And then October 17th of 2016. See that?
Yes.
And then November 4th of 2016.
Yes.
Okay, and we could go to the next page. And then November 10th of 2016.
Yes.
Okay, and December 5th of 2016, and then December 17th of 2016, right? Yes. All right. And then if we could go to the next page, please. All right. And the next entry. We already discussed this a little bit earlier, but there was nothing that you reviewed that indicated anything that should be an entry in there between from New Year's Eve of 2016 into 2017, right?
Correct.
Okay. So if we look at February 14th, 2017, you have Government Exhibit B409, right?
Yes.
Okay. And, okay, if you could go to Defense Exhibit, Mr. McLeod, 1122, please. All right. If you see the message at 1386, the bottom message, Ms. Ventura writes to Mr. Combs here, I adore you so. I love you so. I'm so blessed to have you in my life. You drive me crazy, but I can't get enough of you at the same time. Right?
Yes.
And that's a few days before the message that the February 14th entry that we just looked at.
Say that again?
That's a few days. This message is February 11th of 2017, right?
Yes.
That's 3 days before February 14th, the February 14th entry.
Yes.
But it's not in your chart, right?
The exhibit's not cited?
Yeah, the exhibit's not cited, right?
Correct.
Okay, we can go back to our chart. Okay, and I think we can look at the next few entries here are from March of 2017, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then you write, on line 68, Cassandra Ventura apartment. Is there a reason you don't write the address there?
That's how it's indicated in the chat message.
Okay, all right, let's go to page perfect 23, all right? And these are the last entries that you have in your chart, right?
Yes.
What's the date of this top message?
March 10th, 2016.
Is March 10th, 2016 approximately 5 days after March 4th and March 5th of 2016?
Yes.
Can you read this message?
Baby, I can't say it enough. I'm so sorry! Exclamation point 5 times.
Can you take that down? Can you please go to pages 6 and 7? I'm sorry, Ms. Foster. Government Exhibit B631 at pages 6 and 7. Special Agent Penland, what's the date on these messages?
March 10th.
Of 2016?
Yes.
Again, is that approximately 5 days after the events of March 4th and 5th?
Yes.
Could you please read these messages?
I still have crazy bruising from Friday. I would be a dummy to subject myself to that possibly happening again. How would I know if the drugs are GNA, B bad, or that you won't drink too much? When you get f***ed up the wrong way, you always want to show me that you have the power, and you knock me around. I'm not a rag doll. I'm someone's child. People love me, and I can't keep hiding from them because of your mistakes.
Thank you. Ms. Foster, please pull up Government Exhibit 1402 at number line 65, which is on page 21. What is the date of the entry on line 65?
December 17th, 2016 to December 19th, 2016.
Can you take that down, Ms. Foster, and can you pull up Government Exhibit B512? And can you please go to the second page? Can you zoom in on this chat? What's the date of this chat?
January 7th, 2017.
Is this approximately a few weeks after the line in line 65?
Yes.
And can you read the body of this message?
Nothing good comes out of FOs anymore. You treat me like you're Ike Turner.
Thank you. You can take that down now, Ms. Foster. Special Agent Penland, what was your role in this case?
To review the evidence provided to me and verify the accuracy of the charts.
Were you provided with all of the evidence in this case?
No.
Do you know what all of the evidence in this case is?
I do not.
You were asked several questions about gaps in dates. Were you provided records of all of those times where there are gaps in dates?
No.
Are you aware either way if it means the individual did not gather, may not have gathered at particular locations during those gaps in dates?
I do not.